On this episode, I throw a little bit of shade to spreading. Truth or dare got crazy. Make sure to stay to the end of the episode because the last question is my favorite. It's probably the most controversial, so yeah, well, you'll get there. You'll get there. Okay, so if you don't know who I am, I'm Dante, aka the Forensics Guy. I am the world's coach when it comes to competitive theater, public speaking, and debate, aka Forensics, aka Speech and Debate. Don't forget to subscribe and click that little bell. It's like probably somewhere on the right side of your screen. Click that bell so you can turn notifications on because YouTube sucks at letting people know when new episodes are out. And I'm planning to put out episodes super consistently now, so make sure you're subscribed. Let's get into it. I got probably somewhere between 4 to 5 questions today, so let's see what happens. All right, my first question is from IDK_336622. It says, can you please do an overview of OO? This is my first year and I would really love to know how to start it off. So, I do want to actually do more content revolving each of the categories. I'm working on this thing right now where I want to like do some type of instructional thing for every single category, just like a good thing for beginners, like what to do and how to do it and stuff like that. But like, look out for that. I'm trying to make that as soon as possible. We'll see what's up. But one thing that is important, I think, is the first thing that I say to everybody is you have to get used to falling in love with the topic. I think that's probably the best thing for O, and it sounds kind of cliche, but allow me to speak a little bit more. A lot of people go into a category like OO and they try to figure out what's going to be the best to like win. And I don't think that's going to be true. Like, I don't think that there is one topic or one like subtopic that's going to be the best to automatically get you on that national stage. I think you need to pick something you enjoy and use that to strike you to finals and getting farther in your career. So maybe you love green energy, conservation, LGBT rights, Black Lives Matter, whatever it is. Pick something you're passionate about, something you love and that you really want to speak on, and then use that as the fuel. Because when you're actually doing your work, when you're doing the research, the writing, and everything involved into making a perfect OO, you're going to burn out. Honestly, like, it's a lot of work. So you want to try to pick something that doesn't make you burn out. So if I love Black Lives Matter, I'll go to that. Black Lives Matter. All right, but seriously, if you love that, then use that as your fuel. Start to research, do everything you can do for it. That's my advice. I think that's going to be the best start to this category. If you do have more questions, definitely email me. Everybody knows how to get in contact with me. If you don't, it's Dante at theforensicsguy.com. So if you have any questions for me, you can always hit me up there. I try to answer as much as I can. I'm also on TikTok and all the other stuff. Question number 2 is from _annabei_. It says, any tips on sad acting? I do duo and drama, which I'm assuming is like DI. I have the talent to act sad, but I would like some tips and tricks. Smiley face with a little 6. I'm assuming that it's like I think that's like the tongue that sticks out of the little thing. You know how like when people write the emojis instead of actually put the emoji? I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. Anyway, so tips on sad acting. I think, so my degree's in theater. I think personally, the thing that really helped me the most was getting into more of like really method acting and really being in that space, really trying to live almost, I wouldn't say vicariously because that's not the right word. I think just living within the feelings of that, you know, like I'm not saying to, I don't know, beat up your family member and then get sad about the fact that you beat them up. But like, imagine things in your head that are going to help you get to that sad place. I think that that's going to really help the acting. For myself, whenever I had scenes where I needed to be a little bit more sad, or I needed to feel more as close as possible to depressed and stuff like that, I would usually think of, I won't 100% say it, but basically the best way to kind of describe it is just something that's really bad that's happening. Think about the people closest to you, and if something happened to them, how would you really feel, you know? I think that that's one of the best ways to truly get into the sad acting. I think if you could channel that energy, and do it for happy too, but if you could channel that energy for sad acting, you're really going to see some strong improvement throughout the season. The next question is from ashtonftm. What has been your wildest story at a tournament? So I wasn't sure how to answer this. This is pretty interesting. But I think I have to go with the first tournament that I ever went to. It's always gonna have that strong place in my heart. Shout out to Miss Gonzalez, my English teacher from back in the 8th grade. But when I went to that tournament, I had to do poetry. And when I tell the story, you're like, shouldn't your coach have like, yes, she told me probably multiple times. I'm sure she gave me the rubric and everything, and I think I just didn't think about it. It was the first tournament, I didn't read it, I didn't check on it, anything. So I get to the tournament, and poetry, that was my category. I love poetry with all my heart. But poetry, I did poetry, and it was supposed to be like 4 to 8 minutes. Like that was the time limit, if I'm not mistaken, for middle school poetry. My poem was 1 minute and like 21 seconds, and it wasn't even a poem. It was like a rap, which I know, rhythm and poetry, whatever. But it wasn't the style of how a forensics poetry piece should be done. So I get there, I'm doing this rap, and I'm like, yo, there's this girl that I dream of back from the 6th grade, and all this stuff, and it's like the most cringy, embarrassing thing you've ever seen in your life. Like, you have no idea. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, wow. And I didn't feel too bad doing it because it was funny. I kid you not, I was the first person to go in the first room that I was in. So round one, I do my thing. I almost feel this like amazingness. I leave the stage, or we'll call it the stage, you know, it's basically just the front of the classroom, but I leave the stage and I'm like, yes, let's do this. I got this. There's a good chance for me to do this. And I sit down, and then everybody else is like 6-minute piece, 7-minute piece, probably an 8-minute piece here, whatever, and way better than anything I did. And I felt so embarrassed. It was the craziest, and I think personally the wildest story. And the saddest thing is that was the only time where I got, I think it was a white ribbon. And I think they took it away now because I've never seen one before again, at least since I coached middle school. But there used to be like, because it's a point system thing, you get blue for being like number one or some of the highest points, red is in the middle. And then if you really were bad, like I was, you got the white, which meant that you were like, you probably went under time like I did. Your piece was probably cringy. So yeah, I had to, step it up and fix it. But I would say that was probably my wildest story to date. So let me ask the audience here, what is your craziest story? I want to know what's your wildest story from a tournament. Type that in the comments below, or yeah, tag me on TikTok or something, or Instagram, and let me know. But I would love to hear your craziest stories too, because forensics and speech and debate, whatever you want to call it, is a crazy activity. So let me know. All right, back to it. So this next question comes from No Syra Backwards. Oh my gosh. Okay, that is Harrison. I just kind of realized that. So I think Harrison was in one of my recent lives. Anyway, what's up, Harrison? It says, I'm a guy with long hair. It's layered and it goes past my shoulders. Wow. Do you know any other ways to do tournament hair besides man buns or ponytails? I don't think I have a long answer for this. I am not a hair expert. I wish I would have had one on the show. That would have been great. But I'm going to say pigtails. I guess it depends. I know some people, depends on how comfortable you feel in your maybe masculinity or whatever, but I don't think hair is a gender thing. Like, wear your hair however you want. I don't care. Whatever gender you identify as, whatever hair you want, whatever. So I don't know. Pigtails would be a great one. Potentially braids. I guess it depends on I don't know, what race you are and the type of braids. I know that there's, a lot of things with that. So I don't want to give you something that I think could be problematic, but Maybe there's some things you can research on appropriate hairstyles that could work for you too. Yeah, I think that's all I got, or shave it off, but I don't know if you want to do that because it seems like you've been growing it for a while if it's past your shoulders. But that's probably my best answer. I wish I could give you more. I don't know. Sorry. That's what I got. If you got something, if you're listening and you got something, comment down below with some better ideas because that's all I got. The last question is from Robin_some. I don't know if I've ever seen Robin spelled with a Y. No, I have. Okay, I like that. That's cool. Anyway, Robin_some. What's your opinion on spreading? Oh my gosh, wow. This is the question. I literally didn't purposely save this question for last. Like if you look, like it's like just in the order here. And it's just the way it is. So my opinions on spreading. Personally, I'm not for spreading. I think that I know some coaches are gonna be like, they're gonna come at me, and I'm okay with that. I can hold my own, but I just don't think spreading is worthwhile. I think there's no point. I think if you're speaking so fast that someone has to literally read your script while you're saying those words fast enough, then that's just not the way to do it. And I know some people are like, I can understand the words, but I mean, you can, but you truly can't context it, right? Like, I can listen to an Eminem song and I can understand his words. Like, cause I've had a trained ear for that too. And when I was a little kid, I used to love rapping, like Twista song, one of the fastest rappers ever. So I understand it, but there's no way you can truly conceptualize it. Like I can't just listen to an Eminem song once and just get it. Like I gotta hear it a couple times, get the words, and truly know what that person is saying. And I don't think that spreading is going to it's gonna have that same effect. Like, I don't want to have to read your case multiple times to even get what you're saying. So I think that if you, as a debater, can just speak at an appropriate rate, then I think you'll be fine. That's my opinion. All right, that's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. For everyone who's listening, thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you for staying to the end of the episode. Make sure you like, subscribe, click that little notification bell because I want you to see these episodes when they come out. I'm super excited and extremely glad that I'm even doing this. Like, I feel this is actually amazing for me because I am not great at consistency. I think my mind, my life, everything goes in a bunch of different places. It's really tough for me. There's a lot of reasons it's tough for me that I don't want to explain right now, but like the fact that I'm doing this is amazing, and the fact that I have the intentions on being more consistent is really awesome too. So I hope you definitely stay and continue to follow and like and subscribe and all that stuff. Also, don't forget to share it with a coach, a student, a judge, a parent, whoever's in the speech and debate community that needs to hear it. Even if they're not in the speech and debate community, they might enjoy it too, and then that might encourage them to do speech and debate. I really hope we get into a world before I die where every single person in the world is doing speech and debate. That would be absolutely awesome and amazing, and it would make my day. So yeah, share it. And the last one is, what are your opinions on spreading? I know that a lot of people have different opinions, and I love to talk about that and have a conversation. And I'm sure a lot of people disagree with me, and that's okay, but I love to know why you disagree, and we can have a mutual and a respectful conversation about it. So tell me, what do you think? Well, that is it. Man, episode 4, I did it. I'm so proud of myself. Yay, a little pat on the back. All right, hope you like my background. I don't know, this is kind of what I got. Shout out to that. That's probably one of my favorite things, and that picture. Yeah, tune in. See you all next week. Bye.